Welcome to Make the Grade with the Success Doctor, Stephen Green, where you'll discover actionable strategies to help your student to reach their academic goals, to excel at standardized testing, and to plan for the college admissions process painlessly. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Green.
Hey everybody, Steve Green here. I am going to do something very interesting here. I'm going to do a live stream and simultaneously record a podcast. Never happened before. Never. Ever. Probably not in history, but in the Make the Grade world, this is new. What do you think of that? So, here's what I'm going to talk about. There are all sorts of things going on right now in the educational world. You really want to take notes here, and you really need to make some decisions. I'm talking out there right now to you parents. And I'm talking to the idea that you need to make some decisions, you need to establish some structure, and you need to make decisions sooner than later. So let's do this. I'm going to paint a picture here. Okay? I have had, in this COVID world, where half the people may be going to school, a lot are staying home, some of virtual, some of hybrid, some of distance learning, some are homeschooling, call what you may, but it's disruptive to the normal structure that your kids might have. I think we can all agree on that. Now, I have had literally probably 60 conversations with parents over the past few weeks as schools are starting to announce their intentions. Are we going to be live? Are we going to be virtual? And it's a little bit controversial. People have their opinions, and I'm not going in that direction. I'm not going to get political here at all. But I'm just saying, if you're a parent and your kids are going to be home, and don't forget, even if they have virtual school, they're going to be home all day. But even if they go to regular school, they're still coming home 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They've still got 3-4 hours of homework to do later. So everything I say is going to apply to both. Now let me tell you what my observation is. I have found, essentially, there are 3 kinds of parents approach here. People seem to be approaching this whole thing 3 different ways. I'm going to do this kind of by stories. So family number 1. Okay? Family number 1. Here's their mindset. Let's see how it goes. We'll wait till school gets in. We will kind of take it as it goes. My kids have always been okay in school. I'm not going to get too worried about it. And, if things go bad, we'll deal with it then. Really don't have any plans specifically. There's sort of an assumption that it's going to work itself out, and they'll go from there. That's family, one kind of family. And again, let me be clear. There's no judgment here. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. I'm just telling you what I've been hearing a lot of. So first type, I'm going to say kind of laissez-faire. Let's just let it go. Let's see how it goes. Maybe the virtual learning won't be so bad. Maybe my kids can handle it. We'll see. We'll react when we need to react. Okay. Family number 2. We're saying, last year we had a little bit of trouble with this virtual learning. My kids really weren't learning that much. We weren't getting a whole lot from the school. But I'm hearing it's going to be better this time around. It's going to be more planning, more curriculum, more structure. My kids got to be online from X to Y during the day. So I think we're probably going to be okay. But if we need help, can we reach out to you? My answer is, of course, absolutely. Sure. So you got the people who are kind of in the middle. They're saying, we may have issues, but we're not sure what they're going to be yet. So we're going to just wait and see. But we're aware of the fact that we might need help, and if we do, are you there to help us? And the answer, of course, is yes. Okay. So that's type 2. Now type 3. They are proactive. Hey, we had issues in the spring. My kids had challenges. We had challenges as parents. There was challenges with information coming in. We're going to plan ahead, and we are going to put our structures in place now. Because they understand that these structures take time to develop, and these structures take time to implement, and they take time for your children to get accustomed to them. So, if you are a fan or a follower or a subscriber to the podcast, or you've seen some of my live streams, I espouse 5 structures. Okay? Number 1, physical. You need a physical structure. Where are you going to do your work physically? Is it well lit, set outlets, blah, 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 blah. 2, a temporal, a time structure. Number 3, an academic structure. Number 4, an accountability structure. Number 5, a support structure. So I've gone into these before. I can reference podcasts and live streams that have talked about them. The point is, this type of family is planning ahead. They're going to be ready for whatever happens down the road. Now, let's throw this question out there. And those of you out there in listening land can answer this. Which type of family do you think is going to have the most success? The ones that are laissez-faire, the ones that are kind of guarded, optimistic, maybe a little bit pessimistic, kind of taking it going, or the ones that are proactive, planning ahead, and getting everything in place. Now, my opinion, and you may or may not agree with me, but my opinion is it's the third family, the one that's planning ahead. Why? Well, just because of what I already said. They are creating structure. They are anticipating challenges. They're not going to have to react to them. They're not going to deal with them as they happen. They're going to be ready. And yeah, somebody can say, well, what if I make all these plans and we don't need them? Great. That's fine. But it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. Trust me on that in this environment. And yes, this is an odd environment. No question. And it's going to continue to be. Most of the schools are shutting down at least till November. It could be till June. But there's always challenges in education. For years, 20 plus years, I've dealt with families who've come to me and said, my kid can't do homework at home. They get easily distracted. It takes them 3.5 hours to do something that should take a half hour. So the fact that we're going virtual, or hybrid, or homeschool, or remote, label it however you choose, really is not affecting a lot of the core principles that every family, in my opinion, as a long time educator, should be putting in place. Okay? Now, why is that? Number one, because they work. So I am here to support families. I will help the proactive families. I will help the reactive families. But trust me on this. Get ahead of the curve. Parents out there. Because really this is going to be your responsibility. If you're dealing with your kids one-on-one, if you're setting up a pod, if you are dealing with small groups, classes, I'm doing all of them. I have people coming to me, I'm going to do one-on-one tutoring for. I have pods where I'm going to be, administering them. I'm not sure what word is even appropriate there. Pod master. Is there such a thing? I am going to be running small groups and essentially classes to supplement the people who need help with math and science courses. More on that later. Either way, I am encouraging people, get ahead of this, get your 5 structures in place. Physical, time, academic, accountability, and support. Know where you're going to go with all of these because it's going to take your kids time to get used to them, especially if they weren't put into place in the spring. Because in the spring, frankly, a lot of students, and I talked to plenty of them too, really just skated by. They'll tell you honestly, didn't really learn much, didn't really have that much work. You know, a lot of people got great grades because there weren't a whole lot of grades to get, and it was easy to do it on their own or to get the support that they needed. So, here's my take-home message. I am noticing 3 kinds of families in this new world. The ones who wait and see, the ones who are waiting but figure they're going to do something when the time comes, and the ones who are planning ahead. The ones who are planning ahead are going to have the easiest, most efficient, least stressful experience over the next 3 to 5 months. You heard it here today first. But it's just true. And it isn't true because I say so. It's true because track record shows that. This is what happens when you don't plan and you don't have a plan. And you got to understand that putting these plans in place takes time. Steve Green here. I host the Make the Grade podcast. It is all about giving parents and students actions that they can use right away to maximize their education. Now, supplement this sometimes with these live streams, some other things that I do, but the messaging is the same. If you need help, please reach out. Please make a comment. Please let me know what I can do to help, because that's my goal. I'm going to be back here on Monday doing some more live streaming. Just to wrap up, are you going to be the proactive parent? Are you going to be the wait and see parent? Or are you going to be the reactive parent? I'm advising you, plan ahead. It's not a lot of work. It's not a lot of time, but it's training, putting systems in place, and working them. I'm here to help you with that. I'm here to support you with that. I would encourage you, makethegrade.school. Check out the event there. Free event. I'm bang it up here to show you. Here's our structures, by the way. Kind of went light on the tech today because I want you to really be able to focus on what we're talking about. Okay, here's some other things. Okay, so this is all about making it work for your own family, for sure. Knowing your family's dynamic, but also being smart, working ahead, and putting things into place so you have solutions before you need them. That's the key. I'd encourage you, please, attend September 10th, save the date. Virtual educational back-to-school workshop. We've already got over 100 people registered all over the country. Pretty exciting. 6 speakers, some really excellent, first-rate speakers going to be providing a ton of value. Got some excellent sponsors that also have great services that they provide. So please check these things out. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate everybody who's listening, everybody who is. I appreciate people put input in here. Let me just check the comments. How do we register for the virtual event? Excellent question. It is makethegrade.school. Makethegrade.school. Right there. That's it. Go on there, put in your name, rank, and serial number, and you will get a confirmation. It will also give you access into the resource community, which is a great source of all kinds of things. It's free. These are all free. People like free. Sources of academic support and all the structural support I'm talking about. See if there's another question. I am a parent. I am trying to establish these things. My kids don't listen. What do I do? Good question. And I've gotten that one before in various ways, shapes, and forms. You got to decide who's the leader here. This is to some degree about leadership, and I'm not going to tell anybody how to parent, except I am going to tell you this. Kids need structure. Children need structure. I don't care if they're 5 or 18. And the parent's job, whether you want to assume it or not, is to provide this structure. But it's a lot easier, and I can get a lot of parents who will testify to this. Give me testimonials about this. When you make the structure something that makes sense to them, and you establish it, and you give them time to grow into it. This is why, again, you want to be proactive, and you want to plan ahead. All right, we're about 14 minutes into the live stream here. I like to keep them closer to 10, but I also am very happy to answer questions and comments, and I think we are done with that for today. So, if you have any questions, throw comments in here. I will look at them later and get back to you right away. Consider registering for the virtual event. It's going to be really good, and I think you're going to get a lot out of it as a parent or a student. A person emailed me yesterday, is it okay for my child who's going to be a sophomore to listen to us? Absolutely. Yeah, right at home, virtual, just like everything else right now. Steve Green, the Success Doctor, host of the Make the Grade podcast. That's all I got for today. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to connecting. Get your structures in place. Be the proactive parent. Reach out if you need help, or if you need help with your academics. And I'm here to help you. Have a great week or weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.
You've been listening to Make the Grade with the Success Doctor, Stephen Green. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe. For more resources and support, please visit makethegrade.net.